Get myself a tissue or two. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. We're together on what we celebrate here, at least in the US, Father's Day. And it happens to land on I think today is the solstice, the longest day of the year. And in terms of Eastern energy, yin and yang, the longest day of the year, the longest day of sunlight is more heat making, more yang. And we think of anything masculine, which is not only in men, but in nature and in all beings, there's a masculine and feminine side. And so it's a very masculine, it's a double intensity masculinity yang day today. So that'll be interesting. And maybe that's why today I'm choosing to do something a little more active for our movement. And it can be from standing, from seated. All what we do in this half hour, you can choose the position. You can do it even from lying down. The different orientations of your body will have different energies, but it'll still work just fine. So let me welcome. I saw some new names today. Dylan was new to this class, but not to my class. But I've seen you on Fridays with Jackie. Susanna may join us. We've got a couple Nancys here. I hope another Lisa, a couple Lisas may be joining us. And just thank you all for joining. And again, last week I had part of my theme was this idea of we contain multitudes, we are multitudes, but we're in community. And I'm drawing on this same idea, both the multitudes within us and the way we're interconnected with everyone. That's some of the thinking today, and the poetry I'll bring in will be along those lines. And it's part of what we do in this practice to come to feel who we are truly. We're usually not what we think ourselves to be, which always limits. We think of ourselves as a father, a mother, a gardener, a pet parent, an artist, an engineer. And all those are true and good, or whatever temporary label or longer term label we give ourselves. But we are much more than that, much more. And we're always changing. I apologize, my eye is watering. I'll just probably have to dab it a few times. This could be from the spicy food I had 2 nights ago still. Talk about yang, pitta, yang, and fire. All right. So you might choose to go ahead and get in the position that you'd like to be. I will do that. I'm going to go back a little and be in standing for a few Qigong movements and probably a breath of joy. As we open with our bell. And as I ring the bell, we can take this time to be here. We are here together. And be here as you feel yourself right in the little bit of real estate that you are occupying. Just come closer so you can hear the bell well. So in this body, we're in a continuum of movement to stillness. And the movement part of this practice, it has some stillness even as we begin to just be right here, to arrive. Let yourself be moving towards stillness, as is the title of our teacher Eric's book. And as I talk, I'm going to be closer so I make sure the sound is good. And so feeling your feet, ground. Feeling lately we've been imagining, sometimes I've been sharing a breathing in where you sort of feel the downward pull of some of the soft tissue in your body, but you can receive the downward flow of gravity. I don't think we would feel our feet the same way if we didn't have gravity. And feeling the parts of your feet. As you're standing, you may feel a little more heaviness to certain parts, maybe the side or the front, and the 2 feet may receive your weight a bit differently. Oftentimes, as I'm attending to my physical body and just this arrival of remembering that I am right here, I start to notice my breathing more. And maybe that's true for you. You can sense your breath moving parts of your body, some more obvious than others, and maybe in the nostrils and upper chest, middle chest, belly. Yes, and even as we're moving towards stillness, I'm glad one of you is moving, and I feel free to move. Feel free to move during this time, even if it's little bits or bigger bits, even before I assign the movements that I'm going to share. And just traveling up the body or wherever. I've kind of went from the feet up toward the breathing spaces, but you might notice your pelvis, the spine, and the surrounding bones and organs that goes right from the pelvis all the way up to the shoulders and neck. Sensing down the arms through the joints of the shoulder, elbows, the long bones, the wrists, hands. Long bones in the hands and in the lower arm, upper arm, but in the wrist, a bunch of tiny little bones. And then let's scoop down. Let's take your hands in front of your feet are a bit wide. Your hands in front of your belly, palms facing up, as if you're kind of gently holding a little pillow or something like that. Begin to bend your knees and scoop with your hands as if you're scooping earth energy, bringing it up in front of you, and then flip it over and back of you, it falls down. And as you exhale, scoop. You don't have to match the breath, but you can scoop on the exhale. Inhale coming up. Exhale, begin the exhale as you drop the earth energy behind you. And again, scoop in front. Inhale as you're coming up. And exhale as you fling the ground energy down behind you and squat down. Your squat doesn't have to be too deep. So this is I think I learned this from Qigong. I'm not anyway certified or anything in Qigong, but I've done a lot of it through the ages, through my ages, and then just come back to standing. And just a little contrast from just this one movement may have enlivened or awoken, highlighted something new in your body. This next one is flinging the arms around us. Oh my goodness, I've forgotten. I used to know some of these names. As you twist and your feet can move or not move. And as you let your arms fling around you, then as you get to your side, as you twist a little bit, turn a little bit, let your elbows bend and let the forearms slap your body. This is nice for the organs inside there. They're getting a little hello hug, a little attaboy. Breathing and feeling again how the little part of our feet. Oh, if you're lying down, this is different, but you can sort of simulate it. If you're sitting, you can simulate this as well, but noticing what rolls against the ground, perhaps turning your head to look over your shoulder. And when you're ready, you can do a little more, or you can come to standing, to neutral, back to stillness, observing, breathing. So I was going to do a breath of joy, but I've changed my mind, and I'm going to do something called shaking the tree. This is also from Qigong, and this is shaking different parts of you, and I'm curbing away from breath of joy. If you know it and you would like to do it, you could while we do this. Breath of joy is a shaking all the different parts of your body, and I've turned away from breath of joy for myself because I'm feeling like a little warm and hot, and I don't need more heat. So the shaking could create a lot of heat, but I'm going to do it in a way that's just a little bit less for myself. So you can choose that. You can choose the intensity. And this is lovely for all parts of us. We can start with shaking your wrists and hands, just letting them get as jiggly as possible. This is, I think, when Baxter Bell taught something like this, or maybe this, he would talk about, we got all this jiggly flesh that we're often embarrassed about, but let's just celebrate it and let it jiggle and feel how good it feels to jiggle. So if you can, then let the shoulders also jiggle and wiggle. Maybe as you start to wiggle the shoulders, the buttocks will wiggle and the hips will wiggle. Oh, okay, it's getting a little too much for me, but I'm going to slow it down. You can go as fast as you like. I am going to come on one foot and let my stand on one leg and let my foot jiggle. And it can be surprising how resistant to jiggling. My right foot is a bit resistant to jiggle. You can reach up and let your tree shake up there. You can go a little lighter, a little more intense. See if you can jiggle the ribs. So perfectly able to do this sitting or even laying down. Something you could do in the morning in bed. All right, and then when you're ready, or you can keep jiggling, you can just come to standing. Just take a little assessment, a little survey. I would guess the energy is up a little. The breath of joy, which I've done before, and I promise since I've brought it up, I'll share it soon again with you guys. Maybe when I've got the air conditioning up higher. The breath of joy is very happy making, but you might have found these movements a little happy making as well. So you choose. I'm guessing you might come to seated for meditation, for more of the commitment to stillness, or you could stay. I do have friends who have meditated standing up, sitting down, lying down. You choose. And while you transition and set yourself up with whatever you need, you can be in a chair, you can be on the ground. I'm going to read you a poem that I love so much. This is by Nikki Giovanni, who was an American poet, a writer, a commentator, activist, and educator. She's maybe talking about aspects of herself, but aspects of all of our connectedness. So as you settle and just adjust, listen lightly to these words as if you're listening with all of yourself. Ego tripping. I was born in the Congo. I walked to the Fertile Crescent and built the Sphinx. I designed a pyramid so tough that a star that only glows every 100 years falls into the center, giving divine, perfect light. I am bad. I sat on the throne drinking nectar with Allah. I got hot and sent an ice age to Europe to cool my thirst. My oldest daughter is Nefertiti. The tears from my birth pains created the Nile. I am a beautiful woman. I gazed on the forest and burned out the Sahara Desert. With a packet of goat's meat and a change of clothes, I crossed it in 2 hours. I am a gazelle so swift, you cannot catch me. For a birthday present when he was 3, I gave my son Hannibal an elephant. He gave me Rome for Mother's Day. My strength flows ever on. My son Noah built a new ark, and I stood proudly at the helm as we sailed on a soft summer day. I turned myself into myself and was Jesus. Men intone my loving name. All praises, I am the one who would save. I sewed diamonds in my backyard. My bowels deliver uranium. The filings from my fingernails are semi-precious jewels. On a trip north, I caught a cold and blew my nose, giving oil to the Arab world. I am so hip, even my errors are correct. I sailed west to reach east and had to round off the earth as I went. The hair from my head thinned, and gold was laid across 3 continents. I am so perfect, so divine, so ethereal, so surreal. I cannot be comprehended except by my permission. I mean, I can fly like a bird in the sky. It's a lot of earth images, historic, cultural, all contained around us, in us. And we are just here. So as we go into about 7 more minutes of stillness, you've already been still sitting, just come to visit these same cues. If you feel like you're lost, if you feel like you're having a difficult time, you're already right here. Just feel it in your body. Feel the ground supporting. Feel the breath reliably coming and going. That sounds and all that's around you, the feel of the temperature of the air, the chirping of a bird, or the interruption by your own thinking. Could you just let it be and just realize that you are the one sitting here, aware of it all, and that you never not hear. You may also find some comfort in, maybe almost subconsciously, but the fact that we're here together helps us to stay with this silent stillness that we're so easily lured from. But just to stay gives us this treat of dipping into this primordial, essential self that we all share. And so stay just where you are. I have another poem to share. This one is by meditation teacher Jackie, and I went on retreat with him often and loved his, were inspired to go meet him and practice with him by reading his book, Emptiness Dancing. At the back of that book is a poem, Eternal Now. Take a moment and check and see if you are actually here. Before there is right and wrong, we are just here. Before there is good or bad or unworthy, and before there is the sinner or the saint, we are just here. Just meet here where silence is, where the stillness inside dances. Just here before knowing something or not knowing. Just here where all points of view merge into one point and the point disappears. Just see if you can meet right now where you touch the eternal and feel the eternal living and dying at each moment. Just to meet here before you were an expert, before you were a beginner. Just to be here where you are, where you always will be, where you will never add anything to this or subtract anything. Meet here where you want nothing and where you are nothing. The here that is unspeakable, where we meet only mystery to mystery or we don't meet at all. Meet here where you find yourself by not finding yourself. In this place where quietness is deafening and the stillness moves too fast to catch it. Meet here where you are what you want and you want what you are, and everything falls away into radiant emptiness. This incredible play between stillness and movement, emptiness and fullness, yin and yang, all the opposites, but this one is larger in a sense, the one of that radiant emptiness, and yet it's always flowing new, and we have each other to enjoy things on. And there's a little saying that I'm forgetting, like that the difficulties we have with others is like sandpaper to smooth our rough edges, something like that, that I do like. And I was reminded, I want to leave you with one more thought before we bow and conclude our practice together. Our teacher, Adyashanti, has written a little book called The Yoke's on Us. It's a little teeny book, and I'm still not even through it because she is a fabulous storyteller and writer. It's a delight. You'd love to hear her speak. She teaches Sundays and Tuesdays with us at Sun and Moon. But the chapter I just finished, which was on people help me happen, that we don't do this alone. And that's something that's just been sitting with me today and informing this practice together. So we'll close with a bell and a bow. So we had Nikki Giovanni helping us, Anne Jablonski, Adyashanti, and all of us together. Thank you so much. I'll linger here a little bit if anyone would like to chat or give some feedback. I've done something different with the YouTube, that I actually have the chat screen up there. There's no chat here today, but if you are listening on this on the recording or on the YouTube, know that you can enter a chat, or in the YouTube you can put a comment and I'll check that. And you guys out in Sun and Moon land can write to me at alex@sunandmoonstudio.com by email as well. So let me say goodbye. Let's see, I'll pause I'll say goodbye to YouTube people. Bye-bye. Thank you. See you next time. There is a next time. Oh, soon. Let's see. I forgot. I'll need to check if we have a break for the July 4th, but I think we don't break, or the Sundays continue. So I'll know that for next week.